This video is about the if function. The if function has three arguments. The first argument is the logical test. The second argument is the value if true, if this value is true, and the third argument is the value if false. In this case, we know that 5 is less than 100. We know that's true, so the value of true will appear. In this argument, 200 is less than 100. We know that's false, so the value of false will appear. Instead of having the actual value in the formula, you can have a cell address. So I can say whatever is in cell A3 is less than 100. If it's true that whatever is in A3 is less than 100, then the value of true comes out. If A3 less than 100 is not true, then the value of false appears. And I want to show you how this works out. Let's just say that here's our formula. If A3 is less than 100, if that is true, the words less than 100 appear. If it is false, the value equal to or greater than 100 appears. I'll show you an example of how this works. In this example, we have the formula right here. And this formula is if B8, which is this value right here, if it is less than or equal to 5, if that is true, the word alert appears. If it is not true, we have a blank space. If I don't put the double quotes with a blank space in it, the word false will appear. So if it's less than or equal to 5, the word alert appears. So let's change this and make that 5 right there. And you can see that the word alert disappeared. Here I can change this. I'll make this 4 0. And the word alert appears. If I want to get rid of the word alert here, I'll just make this number higher. Let's make it 4. And click enter. Because we have the sum formula right here. And the sum formula sums D4 to D7. I'm going to get rid of the third argument is false. I'm going to get rid of the third argument, and you will see that the word false just automatically appears. If I were to drag it across, we have an alert for number 5 and false everywhere else. So I'm going to change that back, put a comma in there, put double quotes, space, double quotes. So now I've made the third argument, instead of the word false, just a blank space, and I will autofill it over, and only the word alert appears if it is 5 or less. An if formula can also be nested. In this example, the if formula, the first argument is A57, which is this value here, is greater than or equals to 90. If that is true, the word A appears. In the area where the false is, we start another if function. If A57 is greater than or equals to 80, then the value, if that's true, the value of B appears. If it is false, it goes to the next if function. So if 57, if 57A is greater than or equal to 70, then C, and so on. So I can change this value here. I'll put it as 70, and you see it went to C. Make that a little bit bigger so you can see that. I can put in 80, and it went to a B. So you can see how it changes when you have nested ifs. Let's review the three arguments of the if function. First, we have the logical test, which can only have a true or a false answer. Then you have the value of true and the value if false. For example, if C82 is less than or equal to 20, and that is true, then the word okay will appear. If it is not true, if it is false, the words over budget will appear. The same thing with the following function. If the value in C87 is greater than 100, if that is true, then the words greater than 100 will appear, and if it is not true, the words equal to or less than 100 will appear. Here we have an example of how it works. We've got the number 19 in here. It says okay here. If I were to make that 190, add a 0, the words over budget pop in there. So to look at the formula, let's click on this, and you can see if the value in C82 is less than or equal to 20, then the word okay will appear. If that is false, the word over budget will appear. Let's just change that to 5 and the word okay. Same thing with this formula down here. Greater than 100, we know that's true. Let's make it 20. Equal to or less than 100. So let's look at that formula. And you can kind of see it's truncated there, but you get the gist of it. If C87 is greater than 100, the words greater than 100 will appear. The if function can do more than just print text if something is true or false. It can also do calculations. Consider the numbers in column B. They are formatted so that if they are below 0, they have a green format. And in this case, we want a 10% penalty if it is below 0. To the right of the screen, if the value in column B is greater than 50, then 10% is added, and you see that in column F. So let's change some numbers so you can see it. We've got -2 here. Let's change this to 5, and you can see that it went away. Let's add it 50, 55. And you can see the value came over there, 10% added, and so on. So how that works, so let's just click on this cell right here, and you can see that if the value in B94 is less than 0, then we multiply the value of B94 times 110%. Remember, if you multiply it by 100%, that's the same as multiplying it by 1, so the value stays the same. If you multiply it by 110%, then you're adding 10% to the original amount. We don't do a calculation this time. We just have this value right here, the double quotes, or the false value, because the logical argument shows false, and we only have a value, we only have a calculation if the value is true. Let's go down here. And here you can see it's a -100, so we take B97 times 110%. Over here, we say if B95 is greater than 50, and B95 is in fact greater than 50, then we multiply B95 times 110%. This value right here calculates only the bonus, not the bonus plus the original amount. And so it's similar to this formula, but it only calculates 10% instead of 110%. For example, this is how it appears. If B95 is greater than 50, then B95 times 10%. So this will only show the value of the bonus, not the value of the bonus plus the original value. And this should give you a few ideas of what you can do with the if function. Thank you.